Salama family, salama. How y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. So I had to come over, from Dante's channel, and I had to take Dante's foot off of Faithful to God's neck because Faithful was destroyed. He was destroyed. All the urban apologists were destroyed. I'm like, y'all need to sit down. Y'all can't play this game. Y'all can't play this game. Drop the mic. So anyway, family, we're going to talk about some things I saw in the scriptures concerning the second Exodus and how I see it. I told you is how I see it. Now, for those who've been following this ministry over the years, you already have a foundation. You already have an understanding that this whole thing has to do with a people who turned away from their God and got punished for it, right? With the people who were scattered amongst the world as slaves. And that those people were prophesied to be restored and returned back to the land. That's the story all throughout the Bible. That's what it's all about. Okay, so whether or not you're an urban apologist or you're a Eurocentric Christian or whatever, you need to go open up your minds and your heart first and foremost. Thank you, Cecil, for the gift. And understand that this story is about God restoring his relationship with his people because his people were stiff-necked. You see it all around. All over the scriptures. Now, I'm going to start off with a particular scripture so you can understand the next scriptures that I'm going to discuss, right? It's going to be more important as we go through these particular scriptures. So I'm going to go to Revelation chapter 6, and we're going to read that, and you'll see why that's important, right? All right, Revelation chapter 6. I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw and behold a white horse, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Thank you, Yahya, for the gift. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, with hunger, with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Thank you, Betty Bent, for the gift. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yah and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" See, this has to do with vengeance. We told you, Gentiles. This is the reason why God has a problem with the Gentile nations. Verse 11. And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth and hair, and the moon became as blood. So I wanted to show you this particular scripture mainly because of the horses, right? The pale horse, right? The red horse, right? The reason why this is important, because you need to understand, when we see the horses being sent out, those are like people who belong to an army being sent out for judgment. So every time you see these horses going out into the world, it denotes judgment. And these horses and their riders represent angels, because angels go out to distribute for the Yah's judgment on the nation. So I want you to understand this context here, that every time you see these horses, they represent angels going out to judge. Zechariah chapter 1. This is important. Zechariah chapter 1. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo the prophet, saying, the Lord had been sore displeased with your fathers. Therefore say thou unto them, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye unto me, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will turn unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. Be ye not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, turn ye now from your evil ways and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor listen unto me, saith the Lord. Your fathers, where are they? And the prophets, do they live forever? See, this is the issue. Israel had a stiff neck. Israel always wanted to do what they wanted to do. Israel wanted to be like the nation. Verse 6. But my words and my statutes, which I commanded my servants, the prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, like as the Lord of hosts thought to do unto us, according to our ways and according to our doings, so hath he dealt with us. So what is he saying? He's saying all of those curses, all the things I said was going to happen to you in my word, which we call his laws in the Torah. He said they happened just as you said, right? So had he dealt with us. All right. Verse 7. Upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month Sabbat, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of the Lord unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse. What did we say the horse represents? The red horse and its rider represents judgment. Judgment being meted out by the angels. And he stood among the myrtle trees. Myrtle trees. What do trees represent? And all the trees, right? There's scriptures. We talked about those in the past. Trees represent nations. I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind him were their red horses, speckled and white. Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show thee what these be. Verse 10. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees, okay, listen to this. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, these are they whom the Lord sent to walk to and fro through the earth. Verse 11, most important. And they answered who? The angel of the Lord that stood among the myrtle trees. Wait. I thought it was the man that stood among the myrtle trees. Don't we see man here that stood among the myrtle trees? But yet we see here, and they answered the angel of the Lord, what? That stood among the myrtle trees. So we know that the man that was standing amongst the myrtle trees was an angel, right? And he said, we have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. This is important. Think it's JSBS for the gift. All right. So it says, we have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. Watch this video, family. I'm making a point here, right? Some of you all may already know where I'm going with it. So that was during the first lockdown for the pandemic. And we see in the scriptures, it says, we have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. Remember, I showed you that when the angels ride on horses, in different color horses, it denotes judgment. So we see that these angels, the angel of the Lord that stood amongst the myrtle tree, said that they walked throughout the whole earth and it sitteth still and it was at rest. So how does this tie in to the second Exodus? You'll see. Thank you, Brother Eric, for the gift. So how does this tie into the second Exodus? Verse 12, then the angel of the Lord answered and said unto me, how long wilt thou not have mercy on Jerusalem, on the cities of Judah, against which thou hast had indignation these 70 years? And the Lord answered the angel that talked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, cry thou, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. Wait a minute. I have a question, family. I have a question. The Most High says, I am jealous for Israel. I am jealous for Jerusalem, that is. I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. Verse 15, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped for the affliction. So we saw that before, where the Gentiles took the persecution of Israel too far. The Most High said he was a little displeased with us, a very sore displeased, that is. I mean, well, very sore displeased with them, but he was a little upset with us. But the Gentiles took it too far, right? Verse 16, therefore thus saith the Lord, I am returned. See, here's where he returns. I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, saith the Lord of hosts, and a line shall be stretched forth upon Jerusalem. Thank you, Amos. Don't forget. So here the Most High says, I'm returning now to my people. See, why wasn't he with his people? Because they disobeyed. They didn't listen. He told you that in the beginning. His people don't listen. But he says, I am returning to my people. I'm returning to Jerusalem with mercies. Verse 17, cry yet, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad, and the Lord shall yet comfort Zion and yet choose Jerusalem. Now this ties into the 4 horns and the 4 carpenters. Then lifted I up mine eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. Did we not say that Israel was scattered amongst the nations as slaves? Thank you, Uncle Fred, for the gift. Did we not mention to you all that Israel was scattered amongst the nations as slaves? Well, these are the 4 powers, or the horns that scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. This is what I think is coming next, right? Along with the second Exodus. Then said I, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head, but these are come to fray them, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles. But these are come to fray them, to cast out the power of the Gentiles, which lifted up their horn, what? Over the land of Judah, to scatter it. See, we've been telling you all that Judah went into captivity. Judah was scattered amongst the nations as slaves. By who? Well, the Gentiles came in and took Israel captive, and they sent us all over the place. But now the Most High says there's 4 carpenters coming to fray them away. Who are these 4 carpenters? Well, I have a guess, since it hasn't happened yet. My guess, at least for 3 of them, is Russia, China, and Iran. I don't know who the 4th one is. My guess is the 4th carpenter is either going to be Turkey or North Korea. But the 4 carpenters are coming, what? To fray out the Gentiles that scattered Judah. Judah went into captivity. Now another powerful group of people or nations are going to come and kick out or fray those horns that scattered Israel. Now we know those to be the Western powers, right? We know them to be the Portuguese. We know them to be the British, the Americans, the French, to fray them away. Now, this continues on with the story of a people who was punished a people who was scattered, a people who was judged by the Most High. But guess what? Now we see a time frame. What do you mean, Yakoba? The time frame being that the earth would be at rest. We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. That's the lockdown. That's the pandemic. And so what's coming next? What's coming next, family? Mercies. Mercies for Israel, judgment for the Gentiles. Thank you, Yahuwah's daughter, for the gift. Mercies for Israel, but judgment for the Gentiles. But these have come to fray them, to cast out the horns of the Gentiles. Judgment is here for the Gentiles at the time that the lockdown occurs, at the time that the earth was still. Zechariah chapter 2. I lifted up mine eyes again and looked, and behold, a man with a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, whither goest thou? And he said unto me, to measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him, and said unto him, run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls, for the multitude of men and cattle therein. We talked about that before. See, Israel is going home. The second Exodus is about to happen. When? At the time that the earth is at rest. At the time that the earth is still. At the time that the Gentiles are being judged. Thank you, Detroit girl, for the gift. Verse 5. For I said, the Lord will be unto her a wall of fire round about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Verse 6. Ho, ho, come out and flee from the land of the north, said the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens, said the Lord. What? The Most High is telling us to flee the land of the north. Some of us are going to have to flee. It is the time to leave at the time that the world is at rest. The whole world is at rest. When has the whole world ever been at rest? The entire world at the same time. The pandemic, the lockdown. Verse 7, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Who? Deliver you yourself, Israel. Deliver yourself, the ones who live in Babylon. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. At the time that the world was at rest, at the time that the Gentiles are being judged, at the time where the world is at a crossroads with China and Russia and Iran, thank you, blessed hope, for the gift, at a time of judgment on the Gentiles. Israel must deliver thyself. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just reading the scriptures to give you the timing of the second Exodus. Verse 8, for thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations, which spoiled you. For he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye. Thank you, TB, forgive. Understand that when they always used to use that for the Ish people, that those who touch you, toucheth the apple of his eye, it never talked about those who spoiled them. It never talked about those who were scattered amongst the nations as slaves. At the time of the lockdown, at the time when the world was at peace and quiet, at rest. After the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be a spoil to their servants, and ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me. See, what's coming is civil war. And invasion of this land. And it's right around the corner, because why? It's at the time that the world was at rest. Verse 10, sing and rejoice, O daughter of Zion, for lo, I come and I will dwell in the midst of thee, saith the Lord. And many nations shall be joined to the Lord in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of thee, and thou shalt know that the Lord of hosts has sent me unto you. And the Lord shall inherit Judah his portion in the Holy Land. Wait, what? And the Lord shall inherit Judah his portion, where? In the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Some people don't believe that we are going back to the continent of Africa. But we see in the scriptures that the place where we were taken from is where we're going to return. We see here that mercy is being poured out to Israel, whereas judgment, those horses, are being released on the Gentile nations and on the world, that world that's at rest. Thank you for the gift, Helen. And the Lord shall inherit Judah his portion in the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before the Lord, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. What? The Most High has raised up out of his holy habitation. Why? Because these are the days of vengeance. These are the days of vengeance. Why? Because they took it a little too far, the judgment that the Most High had on his people. Now we're at the end of the end. We see all the calamities. We see the fires all over this world, the floods all over this world, the global pandemic. As we've shown you in other teachings, the Most High says that he's going to deliver us with outstretched arm, with plagues as he did before. It is here, in my opinion. Thank you, Brother Philip, for the gift. The deliverance of Israel is at the door. Am I going to say it's next week, next month? I don't know. I'm just looking at the signposts. So I want to thank all of the Super Chat givers, and I want to thank the Cash App givers and Patreon supporters. Make sure your family knows that we are at the end of our persecution. Why? Because the Most High has raised up out of his holy habitation. It's time for war. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. Love you with the love of the Messiah. Also, family, make sure you support all the channels that are associated with the Dry Bones Project, because we're all trying to unite and support one another around the world.